and welcome back. Not gonna keep you too long. Just wanted to jump on here and just share some points about what's going on in today's society. As you know, things are out of control. Now, with that being said, you're having Americans that are losing their jobs by the thousands, giving it to undocumented, illegal aliens. And let me just say this. I am not upset or angry at those who are trying to come and build a better life. The thing that I have an issue with is that there's not even enough for Americans right now for us to share resources with other countries, for us to be fighting wars, for us to be in everybody's business but our own. I'm a firm believer that you must take care of home first before you can take care of anybody else. That's what I believe. And we're in a situation now that we are at wit's end. You have families that are working 2 or 3 jobs. People can't really raise their children. We have social media that's raising our kids because we don't have enough time to devote to our future leaders of tomorrow, because we're just trying to make things happen for today. And that is the case with so many people, so many Americans today. However, I just want to say, before the word research became a popular thing, which is very good. I'm glad that people are researching. I just hope that you are using credible resources to do that, because anybody can get on here and say anything, but always fact check. When I was in college, one of the things and one of our mottos that was in my particular field was trust no one and verify everything. Now, I have studied in depth, especially when it comes down to Black Americans, when it comes down to those who are descendants of slaves. So I have had to do a lot of research because there was so much that I needed to know, so many questions that I needed answers to. And since I have been on that journey, it has been out of this world. I have opened my eyes, and I can truly say that I'm woke. Not woke with propaganda, not woke with all of this other stuff looking like Babylon. No, I'm woke when it comes down to who I am. I'm woke when it comes down to what my role is as a woman, what my role is as a Black woman in the United States. I've learned a lot. So I'm not going to take up too much time. I implore you to go and really do your research. There are clues out here, and I'm going to get more into that. I have done several videos in the past on my YouTube channel that actually breaks down everything. We have been bamboozled for so long. And I took myself out of the political realm these past 2 elections. I took myself out because I was learning the system from a spiritual aspect. But now, 2024, my eyes, I feel like I need to actually do something. Now, with that being said, about 2 years ago, I had to do a video on Trump versus Biden. And I'll try to leave that link in the description box, because I had just came from a function where there were Black Americans, and they were saying all of these terrible things about Trump. And I'm like, okay, I know that you're watching MSNBC, you're watching CNN, and let's look at the health of our country in terms of our moral health. Let's take a look at that. And so they were filled up with all this propaganda that I grabbed my keys, I grabbed my pocketbook, and I marched out of there, because I couldn't take all of the lies. And if I had spoke up at that time and said anything to that group of people, I would have been macing and fighting my way through the door to get out. So I politely got up, I left, and I came home, and I did a video on Biden versus Trump. And this was like 2 years ago. So I've been on board when it comes down to what my values are, what my belief system is, and what aligns with that. I've been there for quite some time now. I am so glad that my people are starting to wake up, that we're starting to pay attention. We're starting to come out of the valley of the dry bones. I'm glad that we're starting to do that. And I hope that this continues. There's a lot more that we need to do in terms of our heritage, our race, so much. But for this particular video, I want to commend President Trump, and I'm going to go ahead and speak it into existence. I want to commend President Trump because he has done something and he said something. Not only did he do a great job between the years of 2016 to 2020, but he did something in this video that really took my respect for him to a whole nother level. He did something and he said something that I have not heard too many politicians do. And I'm going to share that with you right now.
But we're going to do something that's great for our country. We're going to make America great again for everybody, but we're going to make America great again also. And I'm not sure I can say necessarily again in this case, for African Americans. We're going to make America great for all of our country, but for African Americans. And maybe we have to leave the word again out. You understand what I mean? Because maybe there is no again. We're going to make it great for you and great for everybody. And that's important. Our country's gone through hell. And in many cases, our country is in hell right now. And we're going to turn it around. We're going to turn it around fast for everybody.
Did you hear when he said, for black people, maybe we shouldn't say, make America great again? Now, when I heard make America great again, this is what I thought of. I thought of the time when I was younger, when I was a little girl, when I was naive, when I was fun and fancy free, when I didn't have cares of this world because I was young. I was able to play outside. I was able to drink water from the water hose in my backyard. I was able to ride my bike down the street. I was able to play with my friends. And I didn't have to worry about getting gunned down. I didn't have to worry about getting kidnapped as a kid. I didn't have to worry about sex trafficking. I didn't have to worry about any of that stuff. And sometimes we were able to sleep on the porch and no harm came about us. My father was able to work a full-time job through a tobacco company. That took care of us our whole life. My mom worked as a librarian. And really, she had the option to work or not because my father made enough money to take care of our family. But my mom worked another job just so it could be extra income. So I had a very good childhood coming up. And my grandfather, he came from South Carolina, him and my grandmother, where they picked cotton and they picked tobacco. And they left South Carolina and they migrated to North Carolina. And my grandfather was able to acquire so much because he was able to be the major breadwinner, even though my grandmother worked as well when she got to North Carolina. But back then, they were able to work one job and you could send your children to college. You could put food, nice, good food on the table every night with no problem. You were able to have an automobile or two. You were able to have that sense of security within your community. That's what I think of when they say, or when the slogan comes about, make America great again. Again. Now, you have some people on the left, far left, and even people in my immediate community. What he mean about again? What he mean about he trying to put us back in slavery? No, baby boo-boo. Open your eyes and take a look. Take some information. We're in the land of technology and information. This is the information world that we're living in now. You can easily go and find credible information that will tell you exactly what you need to know. So some people, when you say make America great again, some people take that as a negative because they're negative. Or you can actually think about those good old days and understand what make America great again. However, in this particular video, you just heard President Trump said, well, maybe we shouldn't say make America great again for Black Americans because it hasn't always been like that. It hasn't been so great for you. And to hear well, he's not a politician, but to hear someone who has had the role of president and who is now running for president again, to actually admit this in our own category. I love all people, all my brothers and sisters. We all bleed red. And some people want to just bypass the history of the beginning of this country. But for him to acknowledge that it hadn't been so great for us, and that he's going to make things right, not for just us, but he excluded us to be in our own category because he understands the issues and the systems that have been set up against us. He said, I'm going to make America great for everybody, for all Americans. And I appreciate that. But I just take special appreciation for what he said about Black Americans living in the United States, Black citizens, descendants of slavery, the ones who built this country. That just took my respect level to a whole nother playing field. If you like what you have heard and what you have seen, please like, share, and subscribe. God bless. And I will see you next time.